kill anyone who gets in our way.
No, not kill anyone.
Kill a few people.
Kill no people.
Kill one guy, one stupid guy who no one loves.
Now you're just making it sad.
From the heart-crushing breakup of everyone's favorite band of spacefaring rebellious heroes to resolutions and a whole lot of laughs, this is the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 ending explained. No one wanted the good times to end. When Guardians of the Galaxy came out in 2014, it took movie fans by storm. We couldn't help but fall in love with the lovable cast of rogues. We've all been swept up by their struggle against the power-hungry Ronan the Accuser, a fight against a living planet, and under the shadow of the universe-shattering Thanos. But it wasn't until the third volume that we hit the emotional high points of the smash hit series. Every character's journey and evolution led to the final conflict. Between the Guardians and the monstrous High Evolutionary, and a golden superweapon let off his leash, Adam Warlock. This all led to a satisfying conclusion to the MCU's most charming trilogy. Let's start with the leader of the ragtag group of lovable rogues, Peter Quill, also known as Star-Lord. When his long story started, Quill was an orphan. The night his mom died, he was creepily kidnapped by a group of space pirates, leading to a life of crime among the stars. A stint in a galactic prison led him to meeting his new family, which became the Guardians of the Galaxy. But he also met the love of his life, who just so happened to also be the daughter of a genocidal maniac, Gamora. Quill and Gamora's romance grew over the course of multiple films, which saw their relationship endure Peter's egomaniacal celestial god of a father, the living planet Ego, and their initial conflicts with the green-skinned beauty's stepfather. When Thanos' love was proven in the most brutal way possible, Gamora died, leaving Quill a broken man. So when we pick up in Volume 3, Star-Lord has lost himself in a bottle, drowning in weird alien booze. He's unable to save his dirty little trash panda buddy. When the sins of their past comes a-knockin', or more accurately, barreling through their new home of nowhere, in the form of the gold-skinned powerhouse Adam Warlock. The ultimate revenge of a past enemy scorned, and a tool of a new villain, Adam Warlock absolutely bodies the Guardians. No one gets it worse than Rocket Raccoon. Before, the Guardians barely managed to fight off the Golden Menace. The sticky-fingered, surly little trash-talking raccoon got critically injured. What made things worse is that the team discovered that Rocket has a fail-safe device inside of him designed to kill him if anyone tries to tamper with him medically, which begged the question, who put it there and why? The Guardians do everything they can to save Rocket, including a high-stakes heist in an organic space station. Yes, it's as gross as it sounds.
I miss you so much.
Well, what I'm trying to say is...
Peter, you know this is an open line, right?
What?
We're listening to everything you're saying.
And it is painful.
And you're just telling me now?
At the same time, we get flashbacks about Rocket's past. That explained how he is the way he is, why he is, and who the big bad, the High Evolutionary is. We learned that when Rocket was just a baby raccoon, he was held in the labs of a mad scientist turned supervillain, the High Evolutionary. In a nutshell, this sociopath was on a cosmic quest to create the perfect life forms to populate a perfect world. Rocket endured pretty horrific experiments that are honestly a little hard to watch. Those experiments gave him special implants that allowed him to walk upright and talk. Scared, hurting, and confused, he was thrown in a cage with other twisted science projects. One was a rabbit with robotic spider legs. That was cuter than it sounds, named Floor. Then there was a walrus on wheels called Teef. Rocket's bestie and perhaps crush was an otter with robot arms, Lila. The Guardian's future resident Grump becomes best friends with his fellow experiments. As twisted as it all was, there's something sweet about their friendship. But it doesn't last. The High Evolutionary is shocked when Rocket is able to figure out the secret to make his latest experiment work. Confounded and enraged, the High Evolutionary can't wrap his head around it. How could his own creation outsmart him? Driven to figure it out, he became obsessed with Rocket. This led to him revealing that he was going to kill him, and literally pick his brain to figure it out. Worse than that, the High Evolutionary told Rocket that he'd kill his friends as well. Not having it, Rocket tries to escape, but in doing so, he gets Teef, Floor, and Lila killed, which led to the franchise-long issues Rocket had accepting that the Guardians were his friends and family, because he felt like he got his last family murked by the psychopathic scientist. Rocket managed to escape, tearing the High Evolutionary's face to pieces in the process. So, in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, the High Evolutionary manipulates Ayesha and Adam Warlock to try and recover his wayward property, Rocket Raccoon. As the team tries to save Rocket and fend off the High Evolutionary's forces, Peter gets united with Gamora. But it's not his Gamora, it's an alternate universe's version who has no memory or experience of being his girlfriend. So he struggles to try and get close to her, which helps him get through his grieving process. When we finally reach the climax of the film, the gang succeeds in saving Rocket, beating the High Evolutionary and saving their adopted home of nowhere. Before the credits roll, we learn that the members of the team aren't staying together. Peter Quill, who learned his grandfather was still alive, decides to finally return home to Earth to spend time with the only biological family he has left. Gamora softens up from her tough demeanor at the beginning of the film, but goes back with the Ravagers. Mantis, having made new monstrous alien friends, is determined to figure out who she is on her own, out in the universe. Drax, who helped save a mysterious group of kids who were the High Evolutionary's prisoners on Counter-Earth, stays in Nowhere to help Nebula look after the settlement, which just leaves Rocket Raccoon, who after his ordeal becomes the new leader of a brand new Guardians team. The Guardians of the Galaxy, as we know it, are done, but fear not, a post-credit scene reveals that Rocket has a new team. In the scene, we see Rocket, Groot, Adam Warlock, and a member of those strange kids Drax rescued square off against an alien threat, suggesting the story will continue, just with some new faces. And the last thing we see are the words, "Star-Lord will return." So what does this mean for the MCU's future? It's hard to say for sure. One of the standout factors about the end of Guardians, other than the team breaking up, were those strange kids that Drax rescued. The most interesting one is Phyla-Vell, who is the super-powered white-haired girl in Rocket's new team. In the comics, she's the genetically engineered daughter of Captain Mar-Vell, not to be confused with Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. Will she be in the upcoming The Marvels movie? And there's her and her fellow weirdo kids' resemblance to the Black Swans, who were villains in the comics that helped bring an end to whole universes. Will they play into the MCU's Avengers Secret Wars? We will see as the end of a saga has bred a whole bunch of unanswered questions. New members join up, such as Adam Warlock, who has nowhere else to go while also wanting to redeem himself. Kraglin, a Ravager who inherited Yondu's trademark headfin and arrow, and Cosmo, a former Russian dog astronaut who has telekinetic powers. One of the most beloved comic franchises of all time had a satisfying conclusion that saw every character come full circle, except for maybe Drax, while giving us a final teaser saying that we haven't seen the last of Peter Quill the Star-Lord. Everyone's favorite band of spacefaring rebellious heroes break up, to bringing heartache, resolutions, and a whole lot of laughs. This was the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 Ending Explained.